Yo, what is up, Knights? Aegis Rick here, bringing the latest update in DFO Act 6, The Beast. And oh boy, is this a huge one, bringing with it a ton more than the name implies. I'm talking about new endgame content, updated UI and convenience features, and even a lot of class changes. Oh yeah, and it's Halloween! Spooky! I may not cover everything in this video, but I'm going to touch on the main ones. Check out the link in the description for a large list of changes. Without further ado, let's go. Alright, let's get this new shit and the moniker of this update out of the way first. The Beast Dungeon. For those not in the know, Beast is designed to be some of the hardest content in the game, as you encounter 2 difficult bosses in quick succession. For all intents and purposes, Beast is basically like Raid, since it can only be done in a party of 4 and only on Fridays and Sundays. So I don't want to get into all the smaller details with these changes, so I'll just say it sure is some of the hardest stuff that we've experienced so far in DFO. Basically, you need knowledge, and maybe more so experience in learning the patterns, because you've only got 1 resurrection token and many gimmicks that kill in 1 hit. I have to say I'm a big fan, since challenging stuff like this keeps the content interesting, at the very least, and helps us to progress our characters further. If you're participating at all in Luke Raid, I'd say that you're already Beast ready, so go in there and show Annie and Hyro who the real bosses of DFO are. Moving on though, while we didn't get the highly regarded Coliseum mode just yet, we did get perhaps the more acclaimed Raid reworks in this patch. The amount of changes this has brought to our endgame is immense. As an overview, everything is made easier and more convenient. Let's look at Anton Raid for instance. You can change characters without doing 2 channel switches. Oh god, that was a lifesaver. If you got a saver flip, it will come in the form of a box with a selectable savior in it. In just the first few raids, I've already seen several boxes. The rewards in general are massively increased, thus drastically reducing the farming time, and maybe most importantly, there's a great incentive to make alts that are raid ready, since now you can funnel demon invitations onto 1 character by raiding on others. I personally really like this new raid shop where you can get all the raid related items such as entries and equipment, all of this shop conveniently organized into your UI. Beats having to have to go to specific NPCs for this functionality. And those who do a lot of Anton raids are probably really happy about the fact that now hatches release a lot sooner, and the hatches also help beating the Meteca fight much faster, which honestly saves a bunch of time. Luke Raid is now also available on Sundays and has introduced Luke Hard mode. It's basically the same raid, except the mobs have much more HP and amplified gimmicks. If you're the kind of person who's been breezing through Luke, then you might want to consider Luke Hard, since it also gives better rewards and even account perks and displayables. For instance, you can have a border around your character box or a big sigil. I think purely aesthetic things like this are pretty awesome and make your account more prestigious overall. Just keep in mind that each of your characters can only go into both Anton and Luke raids 2 times each per week, despite there being 3 opportunities now to do so. And as a weekly limitation for people just making alts, the raid rewards are limited to an account bound limit of 2,000 faithful determinations, the currency used to funnel the aforementioned demon invitations. Again, this sounds kind of confusing, so make sure you check out the link in the description below. Now to round this all off, we have quite possibly one of the most abusive events that we've had in a very long time. I'm talking about Queen of Skardy's Quadrathlon. What? Isn't Skardy her name? This whole thing's making me confused. But you know what isn't confusing? How good this event is. Basically, it's a 2-parter. You get rewarded in points both for participating and completing endgame content such as raids and Beast and even Pandemonium Rift. These medals can be used at the Quadrathlon NPC for various endgame rewards such as what's shown here. The real abusive thing is that you can essentially get a reduced or infinite entry to this endgame content during the event period. For instance, when you do Pandemonium Rift 3 times, you are given a box that gives you 3 more entries into Pandemonium Rift. This box resets every day, so after obtaining the first set of boxes, you now can use the entries to generate your next box at no cost for yourself. This reward is character bound, so all of your characters can abuse this one little trick every single day. No clickbait. The Pandemonium support box even has this male satyr APC that's buffs are out of this world, making it so that any character in the bare minimum of gear can do Pandemonium Rift no problem. Make sure that you use this kind of stuff on as many characters as you can to get the most out of this event. You might be thinking, but wait Rick, Pandemonium Rift can only be entered 3 times per account, but as a permanent change, Pandemonium Rift as well as Tower of Anguish is now a character bound limit. You can do both of this content every day on all of the characters on your account if you want. Another event that we have is the Burning Pumpkin Souls event. This is a lot more standard to what you're used to. Kill a pumpkin in optimal level dungeons to get items that you use at the NPCs. Easy as that. The souls that you get are used at this prompt down here and give you up to 3 Halloween related aesthetic items. And in this shop at the Jackie NPC, there are just helpful items overall. And that, guys, covers the substantial new stuff that we got. The rest of it, and trust me, there is a lot of smaller modifications. Some of course more impactful than others. Many classes got complete skill resets due to their skills all changing. Classes like Soulbender, Male Launcher, Battle Mage, Chaos, and Creator come to mind as they seem to play a lot smoother and in some cases like a whole new class entirely. Check out your class's changes again in the patch notes. There's also a lot of UI things. I already talked about this raid window here for all raid related content, but we also have the disassembler now, finally disassembling at least a tainted gear automatically. We finally have the option to expand our avatar inventory up much larger than before, and something that's cool, it highlights in blue which avatar pieces are acting as your aesthetics over the clones. Econ is now a lot easier to farm since you can get better items for disassembly, and we get wave converters at nearly half the price. And quite frankly, all of the things that we've gotten in this patch sound like an exciting ease of access for getting into endgame content and getting stronger faster than ever before. I can only suspect it's in preparation for 95 cap, which if you ask me was desperately needed. Just make sure not to sit on your laurels just because that content is coming. You'll be so far behind it's not even funny, and it's even more so now that the end game has been made easier. But anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you knights later.